I'm talking today to Paul Gabla of Alcatel Submarine Networks. Paul, thanks for joining us here at the event in London. First of all, tell us about some of the key trends going on in the industry right now as far as you can see.
So as far as we're concerned, the telecom market's booming, the internet market's booming, and as a consequence, the submarine cable networks market's booming. And that is mostly because of the fast development of internet applications, internet service providers, and the people who actually create internet content. So by these people, I mean what we call the GAFAs. So that's Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple. So these guys are creating fueling the development of the network. The big trend for us over the last couple of years is that these guys are now building their own network because they want something that is really dependable and reliable, and as opposed to buying capacity from somebody, they build their own infrastructure, and that's booming and that's fueling the growth of demand that we see.
So it's like a whole new market for you guys from, say, a few years ago.
Yes, these companies are fairly young, and they have started investing in submarine networks only a couple of years ago. So for us, basically, carriers, they are still the foundation of this industry, but these guys now, they are creating the additional demand. And if I try to quantify that, probably we have seen a 50 to 60% increase in our market volume over the last 3-4 years. So that's big.
Because submarine networks generally, I always feel, is a bit of the unsung hero of the communications revolution. You were saying some of the statistics are incredible of the amount of traffic on submarine networks.
Yes, people don't really know that because the big competitor of submarine networks has always been satellite for decades. However, I think we have completely lost them in the dust because of the technical capacity that submarine networks can provide. So about 1,000 times more than satellite, and actually now, today, about 99% of internet traffic is carried over submarine networks.
What are some of the new technologies that you are seeing to enable you to cope with this demand?
We are introducing technologies that provide two major changes. The first one is increasing capacity really fast, and for that we have introduced SDM a couple of years ago. SDM stands for Spatial Division Multiplexing. It means basically putting more fibers into the cable and striking a different balance of capacity per fiber versus number of fiber in the cable. And that's more cost efficient, what we are proposing. And the other technology that we've introduced is a more clever branching unit technology. Branching unit is the equipment that's underwater that allows to send the signal in two different directions. And some of them actually can switch wavelength as opposed to just switching fibers. And there are lots of variants, but this is very important to provide flexible connectivity to operators.
And what about the next sort of 12 to 18 months? Where do you see the market going?
I think the market's going to continue to grow because demand is there, and actually the GAFAs that I mentioned before, they are building networks to connect data centers to transport enormous amount of data, but the industry is bracing itself for the advent of 5G, which is starting to be deployed, and that will create a big surge of capacity demand because users will have access to more bandwidth, but also machines will be able to communicate more effectively. When you talk about Internet of Things or you talk about autonomous vehicles, all these things rely on 5G and then on reliable transport of bandwidth.
And you're here in London, obviously. I know you're down the road in Greenwich, but why are events like this important for you to attend?
Well, so these events are really important because it's about meeting all our customers in one place. So it's an excellent networking opportunity. We actually have not only network but also conduct business meetings, and it's very efficient because it's all in the same place, and it saves us an enormous amount of trips to have everybody in the same place.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Brian.